be like your daddy, be like your granddaddy. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as you're doing the right thing. See, the good things in life, yeah, try to strive for those. But if it's those negative things that they're doing, because we all got our vices, all those things that we know we shouldn't be doing, but we do it anyway, right? So try to occupy. I mean, you can do those good things, but if you know that it's wrong, right? The little devil's on your shoulder trying to tell you, yeah, go ahead, you can do that, it's okay. But you know deep down inside you should not do it. Then don't do it. Don't do it. You know, everybody here, and you start talking about churches, and this is where you get your I like to say, your actual foundation begins in the home.
Amen.
Okay? Our foundation begins in our home. Right? And we bring it on in here, and then we add another foundation, not another foundation, but your church is also a very solid foundation that you have. Right? Very solid. You know, oftentimes we get a lot of young people that's got like problems, things going on in their life. It's like, I've got nobody I can turn to. That is so not true. There's always somebody that's out there that you can talk to.
Amen.
Somebody. No one in this world will ever be alone. Now think about it. You will never be alone when you're here. There's always somebody that you can always talk to. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Right? You can always talk to him. He will always be there for you. Always. You say, well, he's not right here. But he listens. He hears everything. But if we want to go ahead and we'll take that a little further, and we say, okay, somebody that I can physically put my hands on. Well, you've got a lot of people that you can talk to. You've got people in the church, your pastors, your deacons. You've got aunts, you've got uncles. You've got grandparents, parents. You've got teachers, coaches, counselors, police officers. Right? Somebody, anybody that you feel that you can trust, you can go to.
Amen.
If you feel that you can trust them, you can go to them and say, hey, listen, I just don't know what I'm going to do. This is really, really weighing heavy on my mind. I really don't know how to deal with this situation that I'm going through. I just don't know what to do. I feel like giving up. There's always somebody that you can talk to. You are not in this alone. And it's important that you realize that. Right? It may seem like it's going to be the end of the world, but it's not. It's not. Because He's going to see you through. Okay? So in your troubling times, all you got to do is get down on your knees. And thank you, Jesus. That's it. You've got a friend that you can always talk to. And then you've got others down here that you can talk to. Right? Just somebody that you think you can trust. Just go to them and talk to them. And they will help, I'm sure, guide you through whatever it is that you're going through. I had one, a parent called me about, it's like a couple of parents, they're all college kids, got kids that room together. And on one particular night, I got a phone call probably about, I should talk, but I'm not going to call names, so nobody's going to know. All right, I got a phone call, I was in bed, going to sleep. And about 1:30 at night, my phone rang. And I'm talking on the phone, my wife, he told me, and I thought she was going to slap me. Who are you talking to? You know, but I'm like trying to whisper and all that, you know. Yeah, okay, yeah. You know, I was like, oh, I'm in trouble now. Right? But it was someone that was calling, it was referencing, how do I handle this situation? My son and these all fellows are all roommates, and one of them just totally freaked out. Put holes in the walls, stripped off his clothes, running around outside, totally nude. You know, acting all, talking out his head. You know? So I don't know whether I need to call his parents and let them know. You know, that maybe they need to go and check on him. I don't know what I need to do. And I said, well, you're doing the right thing. Because you need to call that parent and let them know what's going on with their son. Right? And it worked out so well, she called them in the middle of the night. They weren't, what you doing calling here about, no. They were very glad, they were very thankful that someone else thought enough of them, and thought enough of that child, because we got to remember, it's enough, these are children that we're talking about. And they're our children. Right? They're our children. And we have a responsibility to all children. And not just my 2 kids. I've got a responsibility to every kid out there. To every child out there. I like to say, I got a room full of kids. Because they're all mine. Right? We have a responsibility to our youth. Because our youth, again, is our future. Right? So if we don't cultivate that soil and that seed to get it to grow, put the fertilizer on it, and make sure that it keeps getting watered, right? It's not going to grow. They're not going to grow up to be productive. They're not. So we all have to help out with that. A lot of times, I hear people say and talk to young kids, I say, well, why do you do this? Regina deals with a lot of the juvenile, and I take my hat off to her for her being able to deal with them, because it's frustrating to me. It is really frustrating to see all of this negativeness, all this badness, all this meanness, because some kids nowadays just don't care. They just as soon throw you some choice words, or walk up on you and hit you. It's just pure meanness nowadays. Meanness. And that's all it is. But they say, well, it was because of this. I didn't have this when I was growing up. But don't make excuses, people. Don't let your circumstances, and don't try to use your circumstances as an excuse for why you can't do something.
That's right.
But oftentimes we do that. We say, well, it was because of this, or I didn't have this. No. You can do anything in this world that you want to do. Right? You can achieve any goal that you want. Now, there are certain things that you have to do in order to get there. Right? First and foremost, you have to keep Him involved in your life. And remember that. Because all things are going to be possible through Him. But then there are certain things that you are going to have to do. Right? You can't just say it. Again, I said our actions sometimes speak louder than our words. When we can sit here and say, I want this and this is what I'm going to do, we're saying that, and the whole time I'm doing something totally different that's going to keep me from achieving that goal that I'm reaching for. So don't use your circumstances as an excuse. Right? Remember that you can do anything that you want to do. Right? Don't sell yourself short and settle for less. Right? I always like to tell people, say, hey man, they say, oh, he is so nice. Look at that. He is just so nice. He's always dressed so nice. He's got a nice car. He's got this nice hole. This is just so good and all that. And I'll say, you be a first-rate version of yourself than a second-rate version of someone else. Be a first-rate version of yourself. Right? You be the best Kenny Bamberg that you can be. That's all you can do. Right? So be a first-rate version of yourself. Good things and blessings that come to us every day. The only thing we have to do is open our eyes to see. They're there every day. We're blessed every day. Just by being here is a blessing. And we need to share that. We need to share that with our kids. Reinforce that with them. And it's like, hey, listen, we are here for you, and we're in this thing together. Right? We're in this together. At 24 and 22, it's kind of like, well, I was like, is you not going to be sad when they graduate from high school? I said, no. You're not going to be glad when they graduate, sad when they graduate from college and go with them? No. I'm going to be happy for them. I'm happy because I say, no matter what my children decide to do in life, I can feel good with myself and know that I have tried to do everything I can to help cultivate them. The community has tried to do everything that they could to help cultivate them, to get them to grow and show them the right things to do in life. Right? And if they were out there doing the wrong things or heading in the wrong direction, that somebody, I was glad, somebody else stepped up there to be that de facto parent when I couldn't be there. Because it does take a village to raise a child. And we need all the help that we can get. And there's nothing wrong with asking for help. There's nothing wrong for asking for help if you need it. Right? You know, they always say, ask and ye shall receive. If you don't ask, you'll never know. You'll never get it. You never ask, well, why? I never get it. Well, you never ask for it. You got to ask for it. And if you ask for it, then you'll receive it. The moment that we start accepting responsibility for everything that we do is the moment that we can change anything in our life. Now think about that. The moment that we accept responsibility for everything we do, that's the moment that we can change anything in our life. Anything. You know, you hear all these people, you know, a lot of people focus on all the negatives in life. You know, I say, I'm not going to let nobody steal my joy. Some people see me and they think I'm crazy because I be smiling all the time. You know, it's like, hey, you want to live your life with that frown on your face, all sad, you know, leaning on your heart, it's going to cause you heart trouble, your blood pressure going to go up because you're stressing and you're worried about this and you're worried about that. You're not supposed to worry. Y'all know that. We're not supposed to worry. We're supposed to be concerned, but we're not supposed to worry about it. Right? So there ain't no need to walk around with that frown on your face. And it's not going to make things get any better. Right? It's not. All you're going to do is just make it, you're just going to worry a little bit more. You're going to carry that thing around on your back that much longer. Right? But you got to let that stuff go. You know, that's what I said. I hear a lot of people say, oh, well, I'm just going to take it to the Lord. And then they claim it right back. I want to do it myself. I gave you, well, see, an hour and my circumstances hadn't changed, God. That's what I want.
That's right.
So we want to get it back.
That's right.
But just remember that. When you take it to the Lord, leave it with Him.
That's right.
You got to leave it with Him. You hear a lot of people out there, they talk about always, and I always like focus on this negative thing. You know, they look at a glass of water, and half of it's gone, and most people will say, well, it's half empty. No, it's half full. You know, it is how you see things. It is how you see life. Two people can look at the same thing and perceive it two totally different ways. But you start talking about all this negativity. You say, well, you can't do this. You will never make it to the NFL, young man. You will never make it to the NFL. You will never make it out of high school. You will never get this job. You can't. That's impossible. There's no way. But I want to leave you with one thing before I step down. When you hear all those naysayers say you can't, when you hear them say that there's no way, when you hear them say, that's impossible, just remember, no way, never, impossible. Those are just opinions. Those are just opinions. The only person that can hold you back and stop you from achieving what you want to achieve is you.
That's right.
That's why when you sit out there and you sit there and you point your finger at that man out that way, it's your fault. It's your fault. I'm pointing at you. I got 3 fingers pointing back at me. Right? Because you control your destiny. You're going to be the one that's controlling you. You're going to be the one that's going to have to answer for what you did the way that you did. You're going to have to be the one that's going to have to answer for all the choices and decisions that you made in life. No one else. You know, I like to say that they say from that movie when they said, the world is ours. And it truly is. The world is ours. We can reach for it. We can achieve anything that we want to. It's going to require a lot of hard work. Nothing is given. But don't ever let anyone tell you that you can't do something, that you can't achieve a goal that you're trying to reach. You know, 3, 4, 5 years from now, I want to flip my TV on. I want to see you on Sunday. All right? So y'all remember that. I thank you so very much for giving me the opportunity to come here and speak with you. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. And thank you so very much for y'all's time.